To reach Mizoram, you have to travel to the southernmost tip of northeast India. It's a strategically important state with two international neighbors, Myanmar and Bangladesh. And within India, Mizoram shares its borders with Tripura, Manipur and Assam. In fact, Mizoram was a part of Assam till 1972. Then it became a union territory. And finally, on the 20th of February 1987, Mizoram became the 23rd state of India. With the second lowest population in the country, nature flourishes in Mizoram. Green hills, gurgling streams, a wealth of flora and fauna, and a pleasant climate to boot, a low of 11 degrees in the winter and a high of 29 degrees in the summer. A welcoming climate and hospitable people. That's Mizoram's calling card. The society is a close-knit one with no class distinction or gender discrimination. People are bound by a code of conduct, captured in one word. Tuemanga, a word that's not easily translated, but essentially encourages everyone to be hospitable, kind, unselfish and helpful. Perhaps that's why Mizoram is often referred to as the most peaceful state in India. It's this peace which enabled steady economic growth, making Mizoram one of the fastest growing states in India. Mizoram is part of an elite group of 4 states, categorized by the Niti Aayog as high growth states. Mizoram, along with Gujarat, Jharkhand and Tripura, have delivered more than 8% growth over the last 4 years. Mizoram scores high on human development indicators. It's ranked at number 2 for literacy, with Kerala at the top spot. The health index prepared by the World Bank Group and Niti Aayog in February 2018 places Mizoram at number 1 among small states and number 2 among all states. The National Family Health Survey notes that Mizoram is one of the least malnourished states in India, with over 51% people living in urban areas. A substantial 54% of women are part of the labour force. Per capita income levels are rising in Mizoram. In the year ended March 2017, Mizoram's per capita income stood at 1,25,107 rupees versus 1,14,524 rupees in the previous year. That's substantially higher than the national per capita income over the same period. It's worth noting that the contribution of agriculture and allied sectors to the economy has been moving up. 17.66% share in the year ended March 2014 and 27.84% share in the year ended March 2016, settling at 26.28% in the year ended March 2017. That explains why Mizoram is focusing its attention on a 360-degree economic development initiative driven by the New Economic Development Policy, or NEDP. In place since 2016, the NEDP is reprioritizing economic goals and targeting new opportunities. It aims to create a robust, self-sustaining economy for Mizoram. Changes were set in motion with the state's flagship program, the New Land Use Policy. This policy addresses cultivation methods, livelihood opportunities and environmental threats.
A program which we call New Land Use Program, which aims at helping the farmers and the weaker section of the people economically, and it has been a grand success. Our per capita income is higher than the national average, and also we have been declared the least malnourished state in the country.
In fact, the umbrella policy itself, NEDP, aims to weed out unproductive farming practices, boost income levels for common folk, stem the brain drain, battle poverty and create a sustainable growth model. Mizoram got the flexibility to set these goals under the new structure for financial devolution from the central government to the state governments.
With the implementation of the 14th Finance Commission, with the abolition of planned and non-planned, no distinction. Therefore, the state has been able to spend certain amount of public fund for the state priorities. And in formulating this, we have what we call New Economic Development Policy, NEDP.
The NEDP has set itself ambitious objectives. It wants to build a strong, sustainable economy with robust public finances in an integrated manner. It wants Mizoram to tread a high growth path by enhancing productivity, creating employment opportunities, improving public finances, improving the business environment, and improving public service delivery in a consistent manner. The new policy includes growth strategies for various sectors with an eye on outcomes like development, better work options, and inclusive growth. All in all, a stronger and more inclusive economy. So, it's critical for Mizoram to position itself as an investment destination, one that is geographically strategic as a gateway to Southeast Asia, a place where India's Act East policy can be made effective.
Our air connectivity is quite good. We are trying to bring in, besides the sea transport, rail transport is the cheapest, and we're trying to bring railways through Kaladan multimodal transit transport project. We're going to have trade with Southeast Asian countries.
From intent to implementation, Mizoram has its job cut out. Relatively unexplored, Mizoram needs to show the world its potential and its strategic advantages. And so, it opened its doors to the world through the magnetic Mizoram Investors Summit in April 2018. The first edition has proved it can catalyze investment in the state.
New economic development policy being implemented by Government of Mizoram is a comprehensive growth strategy for Mizoram. Based on pragmatic optimism, it identifies key growth drivers in the state economy. It formulates strategies for various sectors and provides operational guidelines and framework to prepare action plan by line departments.
In keeping with its multi-pronged strategy, Mizoram hosted the Indian Film Festival, a festival that drew some of the country's biggest filmmakers. But it was the outreach by Mizoram's Chief Minister and Planning Minister through 2017 to 18 that was critical to the success of the magnetic Mizoram Summit. Road shows and investor meets were held in Mumbai, Delhi and Kolkata.
We have got offer from some reputed firm for development of solar power, and from hospitality sector also we have offers, and for capacity building, and we have our this industrial policy as well as solar policy and all this, and these are designed to be investor friendly, prospective investor friendly.
The NEDP is seen as a model for all the states in the Northeast. It's been commended by the Northeastern Council, and the blueprint has been shared with the Chief Secretaries for replication in all Northeastern states. What's appealing in the NEDP is the fact that it has the capacity to change lives. The NEDP Charter includes identification of key growth sectors and key growth drivers, a strategy for reviving agriculture and allied sectors, a strategy for developing industry and the manufacturing sector in particular, a strategy for infrastructure development, a strategy for sustainable service sector-led growth, reforms in public financial management, wider public administrative reform, skill development to reap demographic dividend, and a climate change adaptation and mitigation strategy.
Every state has its own strength and its own weaknesses. Look at Mizoram. What do we have? We have land. We have the people. And we have the best of the climates. Literacy is one of the most important factors. when we see the young people coming out from the colleges and universities and the schools, we feel that this is our potential.
A key component of the NEDP has been the hugely successful Entrepreneurship Development Scheme, kicked off in 2016 with components like an Entrepreneurship Awareness Program, a Master Trainer Development Program, a Skill cum Entrepreneurship Development Program, a Business Plan Contest, a mini startup competition, and an Entrepreneurship Summit. The scheme is being run by the Mizoram Entrepreneurship Development Monitoring Committee. As the name suggests, the Entrepreneurship Development Scheme wants to encourage entrepreneurship and create an enabling business environment. But to get things going, people must have the skills to start their own ventures. And at every step, they need institutional and knowledge-based support.
Entrepreneurship Development Scheme being implemented under NEDP aims to create credible entrepreneur and startup ecosystem in the state economy. Entrepreneurship Development Monitoring Committee is set up to implement the scheme. The scheme has 11 major components to develop entrepreneurial abilities among the people and provide appropriate support to budding entrepreneurs and startups in the state. So far, about 35 startups has already been promoted under the scheme.
The most engaging part of the entrepreneurship scheme is the Micro Startup Capital Competition. The competition aims to provide micro-funding to potential and promising startup ventures through an unbiased competitive selection process. So far, 35 startups have got government assistance, and it will likely motivate others to turn entrepreneurs. One thing is certain, the initiative is attracting some youngsters back home. 32-year-old Sausang Zeli Chakachuk is a trained software engineer. She gave up her government job to start her own business. She wants to promote organic farming and create a direct selling platform for rural produce to serve the market in Mizoram's capital city, Aizawl. Her brand Highmark, the Hill Produce Mobile Market or Veggie Market in a van, has caught Aizawl's attention. No surprise then that Sausang Zeli was one of the winners in the Mizoram Government Startup Contest.
The help of Mission Organic Mizoram, which is promoting organic farmers to produce more and more agriculture produce solely on organic. So this has helped us in so many ways.
35-year-old Lal Nunasami Pachao worked as a fashion designer in Delhi. Then she heard of the entrepreneurship policy under NEDP. Today she runs a high-end fabric outlet in Aizawl and exports to various parts of the world.
I always wanted to work with the Mizo traditional textiles and see where I could be with that in the fashion industry. So I came back to Aizawl and we started really small, working with local weavers and local women who had these little units. So initially we didn't have all of this. We started with outsourcing our work.
The Entrepreneurship Development Scheme brought out the entrepreneur in 31-year-old vet Vanram Hill Pui. She runs Mizoram's first meat processing unit. It also acts as a skill development center.
Youngsters like us, our mindset has been changed from only going for government jobs to have started our own venture. So it's really helped us to take challenges, through NEDPs. They build our confidence, and if we go this way, we know that NEDP will be providing us if we really do the work. So that's helped us a lot.
Entrepreneurship is critical for job creation, but it's only one part of Mizoram's growth plans. To ensure that its plans are comprehensive and effective, the state hosted the Mizoram Economic Conclave 2018 on the 6th of April this year. Policymakers, experts, academics, NGOs, students, startups and entrepreneurs got together under one roof to discuss economic challenges and opportunities. Mizoram's new economic development policy caters not just to urban but to rural Mizoram. An initiative called My Project, My NDTV urges public participation in major development projects in each district. The budget provides for 8 crore rupees for one major development project, with 1 crore rupees set aside for each district. The project is selected on the basis of transparent competition conducted by the deputy commissioners in each district.
There are 27 schemes and several number of development special projects under NDTV. It has been able to boost the state economy and livelihood of the people. It has brought a number of visible step-up, generate sustainable means of livelihoods and open up new avenues for the people in Mizoram.
In Penswal of Serchip district, the home to Mizo traditional handloom, villagers are giving a new life to traditional handloom, which was fading out with time.
Our main occupation is woven clothes. With the help of this NDTV, we are going to make a new handloom complex. So in that complex, we will install new machine. So our product also will be variety.
The Sialsok Ecotourism Development Innovation Project is yet another rural initiative under NDTV, which aims at sustainable development to use the best of Sialsok Hills, preserve the forest and develop ecotourism around it.
Tuna hian Mizoram Sarkarin NDTV My Project My NDTV ati kaltlang hian e kan tlang vel tele e kan zongo te kan tui khwat te e han cheya han moi taka han thuam tharna tur poisa e min pe a kan lom khop maya e chu wang chon kan poisa mu hian thei top chua e en kola o chei kan tuma.
The NDTV follows a bottom-up approach. The BPL Baseline Survey 2016 is a case in point. The survey is the first of its kind in India. It was published by the Economics and Statistics Department and it contains the names of families in each village and locality in Mizoram. The survey shows that the number of BPL or below poverty line families in Mizoram have fallen from 21% to 19.63%. In fact, 5 villages have no BPL families to lift families above the poverty line. The Mizoram government has come up with a program called the Participatory Community Development Project for BPL-free villages. A village that comes together to lift all its families above the poverty line will get additional development projects worth 40 lakh rupees from the government.
All the states in this country depend mostly on the working class and the farmers. That is why the Honorable Prime Minister also has been trying to double the income of the farmers. NDTV, besides encouraging young educated people for entrepreneurship, this will also encourage the farmers, and this will also help in marketing of their products.
With the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals in mind, the state government has prepared a vision document, Mizoram Vision 2030. Health is an input for and an outcome of development. The India State-Level Disease Burden Initiative has shown that malnutrition and tobacco are the top 2 contributors to death and disability. Malnutrition is a challenge, especially for children under the age of 5. Mizoram's biggest challenge is tobacco. Until 2017, Mizoram had the highest number of tobacco users in the country. But the latest Global Adult Tobacco Survey shows that Tripura has overtaken Mizoram. In absolute terms, tobacco use has dropped from 67.2% to 58.7%. This should help stem tobacco-related diseases and deaths in Mizoram. Health is often determined by water quality, and so the government has launched the Water Supply and Sanitation Mission to ensure all rural and urban households have access to safe drinking water and sanitation facilities. Aizawl is gearing up to be a smart city with central government aid. It will be easier for Aizawl to make the transition compared to most other cities. That is because of Mizoram's inherent advantages. It's a power surplus state. It's on the brink of scaling up infrastructure, which means fewer legacy issues. It has a low crime rate. It's probably the only place where shops do business without shopkeepers. And while it's known as a football powerhouse, Mizoram is determined to claim another mantle, an economic powerhouse.